Now enjoy the artistic performance by the skilled performers Guo Degang and Qian. Thank you. Just now it was Commune Mong and Li Yinjia. What are you bringing me? Here it is.
Hey, thank you. Just put it here. Just put it here. Thanks. Thank you. Kong.
This is a room card. That's a nice thought. Oh, what number? You all chat. First, I'll be back. As soon as I saw this, I just pulled up my pants and left. Ha ha ha. Thank you. That's the comedy show, one after another. Just now, it was my two apprentices, Hey, Calm Yun Long, and Li Yunjia, both from the Yun family, early disciples. They went down to take a break. And now it's our turn to come up and tell another segment. Why do we listen to comedy? What do you think? To be happy and have fun. That's what this job is about. I bring you joy, and you provide me with food. It's very simple. If you say anything else, it's fraud. That's just a skill for making a living. Hey, aren't you supposed to eat? Shouldn't you be doing something? Right, it's a means of survival, right? Telling jokes, cutting hair, selling vegetables, doing comedy while farming, or going to Africa to be a king. People live like this for decades. That's just how it is, happy and joyful. I find everything enjoyable. You have a good mindset. When I step out of my house, the car was parked at the door. That kid, not just a mischievous child, was swinging a big iron nail on the car, scratching it. Others were like, hey, what are you doing? I have to say, I don't have that kind of joy from childhood like you do, which is very important. Oh, this is a kind of joyful doodling. This is called doodling. Oh, let him draw. Hey, if you see it and it makes you happy, isn't that great? I'm happy too. And you're happy, right? Well, the car isn't mine. Right. Oh, it's not your car. And the kid isn't mine either. Good, right? This has nothing to do with you. I'm just waiting for the driver to come out and scold the kid. You find it amusing, right? You see the joy in it, huh? What kind of mindset is that? Life is short. Oh, we must be happy, especially in our line of work. Actually, this industry hasn't been very prosperous. In the past 2 years, has it? How many old masters of comedy passed away last year? Oh, I actually had a dream about that last year. Oh, what did you dream about? Well, there was a time last year, and oh my, when I woke up, I was covered in cold sweat. It was a nightmare. I dreamed of a big car. Oh, with no driver, just a whole car full of people doing comedy. Oh my gosh. Who is it? It's Mr. Shixingjie and Mr. Chang Baohua in the car. Mr. Chang Huitian has passed away, and so has Mr. Xie Tianshan, all in that car. Oh no, the car is moving forward, without a driver. Oh, the car has passed by. Yu Qian is pushing the car from behind. Right, wow. And I sent off these few people after I got up. I was covered in cold sweat. Yeah, I didn't expect you to be someone like this. Now, let's talk properly, not for any other reason, but for the audience. We need to do well, right? In the past, whether it was actors, storytellers, or comedians backstage, when we mentioned the audience, we talked about how our seats, or doing, right? They all referred to it as seats. Why? Because each person has a seat, right? The term seat replaced the audience. Well, people buy tickets, and now, the emerging entertainment industry is saying, fans, oh, these are our fans, right? That's great. No matter what, you are our bread and butter. We really rely on you all. This ticket, helps us make a living, right? Sometimes when we go on stage, we can also see the audience having fun. Depending on what you hear them shout, you can tell whose fan they are. Can you tell them apart? Listen to me. You see, those shouting brother-in-law are all fans of Zhang Yilei. Oh, and those shouting dad are fans of Guiqilan. Just now, you promised. So why are you shouting now? Those shouting ancestor are fans of Teacher Yu. Who said that? If your fans didn't come, I wouldn't have you look. Look, see. It's really something. It truly exists. You just had one ancestor come. That's great. The other day at the performance, there was a girl at the entrance. After the show, she was waiting at the back door, not letting me leave. She stopped me and said, "What are you doing?" The security also stopped me, saying, "Don't stop him." I said, "Miss, if you have something to say, just say it." Guo Lao. I've been waiting for a long time. Why are you crying? I'm sad. Don't cry, don't worry, okay? Why? What's wrong? Can you change your name? What do you mean change your name? You don't know? There are all kinds of people in the world, thousands of them, each with different needs. What does she mean by that? It's just that girl, because you can change your name. Why should I? I said, "Go ahead and tell me, miss. I used to be a fan of Qian. Oh, and I really want to get his name tattooed on my body." Later, I realized that the characters for Qian have too many strokes. Are you afraid of pain? I discussed it with Qian, and I even sent him a private message. I said, "Can you change your name to Ding Yi?" He hasn't heard of me, but I'm a true fan who loves you. From now on, you'll be Ding Yi. I heard Qian block me. Hi. Then he definitely had to block me. That's why I wanted to ask you, can you change your name to Ding Yi? I said, "Miss, I can't just change my name like that. Isn't it fine if you just say your stage name is Ding Yi?" I said, "Sweetheart, I have a stage name too, but you definitely wouldn't want to tattoo that on your body." What is it called? My stage name has 3 characters. The first one is head, and the second one is show. It's the Beyond from Buyang Noodles. Counting them is a hassle. You know, just skipping the last 2 characters makes it easier. What's it called? Tao Tai. Goodness. Qian Fei died. Your name can't be on it, sweetheart. Remember that. Okay? Show Tao Tai, oh dear. Those 3 characters on your back are fine, but you better add Pinyin. Alright, no need for Pinyin now. This girl is my biggest hater. If only she were a bit thinner, it wouldn't be so hard to carve, haha. Respect the audience, they paid for their tickets, right? Sometimes it's pretty funny. A lot of people online ask, "Hey, I heard your fans have been fighting recently. Is that true? Your fan Zhang San and Fan Li Si are at each other's throats, like enemies. What do you think?" I said, "What can I think? We're in the service industry. We don't have the right to choose our customers." Yeah, customers come in 2 types. Those who are our customers and those who aren't. If you're not our customer, you should just go do your own thing. If you want to watch a movie, go watch a dance in Africa halfway, right? Yeah, exactly. Don't mention that anymore. You just focus on your own stuff, right? Swimming by the river, learning to catch fish, right? Are you still doing magic tricks? No, writing in the square, right? Don't bring that up. If you're not our customer, we don't really have anything to talk about. You just do your thing. If you're our customer, we'll just provide good service, right? That's it. We don't have anything else because this industry is actually a vulnerable group. In our field, oh man, doing art is a vulnerable group. You can go online and rant. You see, you can criticize artists without any problem, but you can't criticize other industries like that. People only criticize and making jokes where acting has no consequences. I said that's very true because half of the money we earn is basically for taking the heat. Oh, that's included in it. Yeah, just like acting in a movie. At 4:30 in the morning, you got your headpiece on, waiting out in the field. Then at 10 at night, they tell you, "You're not needed today. Go home, just leave." It's all in vain. Half of the money you earn is just for waiting, not for actually performing, right? Half of it is taking the heat, and half is just waiting around. So what can you do, right? That's why this industry is tough, right? You see people like Zhang San, Li Si, Yu Peng, and Zhang Yunlei standing there talking for 30 minutes. And wow, they make a lot of money in those 30 minutes. But how many years do farmers have to work to earn that? How do you explain that? Not everyone makes Zhang Yunlei's kind of money. But then again, if you put it that way, all the painters would have to be locked up. How can he make 30 million for a single piece of paper, while a worker at the paper mill only earns how much in a month? That's just nitpicking, right? You can't say it like that. We're just holding on to the principle of selling our art. You see, Teacher Yu has been selling for so many years. Let's be honest, it's not easy to sell these days. Right. Can't you just say it all at once? Just sell it. Well, right? Actually, when it comes to performing crosstalk, singing, or storytelling, we're just living life with the audience. What does it mean to live well or poorly? At the core, it's about a matter of connection and affection. If the audience loves you and accepts you, then everything is fine, right? If you forget your lines, crack up, lose your rhythm, or say something silly, they still find it endearing. If they're willing to listen, then that's great. It's so relaxed. If they like it, that's awesome. But if they don't like you, then nothing you do will be right. If it doesn't work, it's like some people watching Guo Degang perform. It's not that they're angry about Guo Degang's art of performance. They have issues with him as a person. If you put a piece from their favorite artist in Guo Degang's mouth, they still wouldn't accept it. Their hatred isn't for the art. It's for the person. So, if you're not good enough, there's nothing you can do. It's all about having the right mindset. We just need to keep our hearts in the right place. And do our best while respecting the audience. I had a meeting with the kids backstage, and I told them that when wearing the long coat on stage, they're not allowed to wear watches. We have this rule, you see. You see, wearing a long coat and having a watch on here, that's just unprofessional. But why is that? Because the audience looks at the watch, checks the ticket, looks at the ticket, and then checks the watch. What's the point of that? That's all money I spent. Oh. But he can't represent that. Of course, female performers can do it, right? Imagine a girl in a qipao, decked out in jade, pearls, and gold, shining brightly on stage. The audience would be so happy, enjoying the show, checking their tickets, thinking, I bought a ticket for this, At this point, he said, why is this male actor acting so flashy? Even wearing a watch is a no-go. That's called showing off wealth. Take it slow. If you want to perform crosstalk well, you must earn every ticket. That's right, crosstalk can be done well if you really put in the effort. What do you mean by can? The most important point is to remember this trick. It should appeal to both refined and popular tastes. We often say that elegance should be elegant enough, and the popular should be popular enough to be elegant. Yes, it's a dialectical relationship. Being too vulgar or too elegant fails. You can't go too far. Can you outdo kunku opera in elegance? Kunku opera, yes, it reached the pinnacle of elegance. Back in the Qin dynasty, there were regulations against performing local operas. The Qin dynasty only allowed kunku to be performed when local operas came to Beijing. Officials responsible for this would first interrogate you. If you agreed to switch to kunku, you could continue performing. If not, they'd tie you up with heavy iron chains and send you back home, telling you to quit this line of work. They were sent back. The Qin dynasty government required elegant kunku performances as the norm. Later, Emperor Qianlong's birthday decree allowed any performance. It wasn't a big deal. The emperor's birthday was very important. You see, local operas from various regions came to Beijing and eventually overshadowed kunku, leading to the creation of Peking opera. So many things can actually be summed up in one phrase. It's all crosstalk. All crosstalk. Elegant as it may be, however, kunku was supported by the Qin dynasty, but by the time of the Republic, it couldn't sell tickets anymore. There were no audiences who understood it. Being too elegant and refined doesn't attract people. It's too clean and doesn't resonate. You can't survive being too vulgar either. How can that not work? When teacher you gets on stage, he just takes off his pants, right? Who's watching that? Sigh. The quality of today's audience needs to improve. Huan Lei sees everything. So, if you want to appeal to both the refined and the popular, there's only one way. What's that way? Teacher you takes off his pants and sings kunku. The food isn't that great. Is that what it means? Selling our art. We're just like little vendors. It's all about making a living from this, right? If you work hard on your craft, you might just become the top crosstalk performer. If you don't put any effort, you're just a buddy of the top guy. And that's a big difference, isn't it? Of course. Of course. When a young performer gets on stage, what they say might not meet your standards. Why is that? Why? First, you learn to make a living, then you learn to support a family. How do you explain this? He has to survive first. He's 15 years old, a kid standing on stage doing crosstalk. You can't expect him to be like a 95-year-old master, right? That's not realistic. He has to start with some simple, even more accessible stuff. If you're happy and laughing, then he gets to eat. As he starts earning more and more, he has to cherish his reputation. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That phrase isn't appropriate. There's a process of growth. Right, cherish your reputation. Of course, the premise of cherishing your reputation is that you have to be an eagle. If you're just a coward, then don't bother trying. Then who else would you cherish, right? Doing crosstalk is the simplest form of art in the world. But it's also the hardest, because there's nothing else. Whether you wear a long coat or not doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You can just do crosstalk while pulling up your pants. Why do you keep mentioning pulling up your pants? If you wear a shirt, can't you still do crosstalk? Can you do crosstalk without this table? Yes, it doesn't matter if you have this fan or not. It's fine. What's important is having a good mind, right? If you have a good mind, you can do crosstalk. And you need to have basic skills. I'm telling you, this thing is actually simple, but it's hard to fool people. It's hard to say, today at the North Exhibition, I've been performing here since the early 2000s for over 10 years. Right, this stage holds under 3,000 people, about 2,700. What's the hardest part? It's this. It's the hardest. This is a commercial performance. Getting them to take money out of their pockets is the hardest part. Real cash. If you say, please buy tickets, dear folks, come watch Crosstalk. After you listen, you'll feel elevated. That's our sentiment. If you try to trick them, they'll be holding back on you too. It's not easy. You just have to remember one thing. Getting the common people to willingly take money out of their pockets. That's where the realness lies. What does it mean for something to be truly artistic? Art is skill. Skill is the ability of the performer. It's about selling that ability. If you have art but no skill, that's called fraud. If I say, this thing is so good, so wonderful, after you listen to my crosstalk, you'll be amazed, but then you charge 20 cents for a ticket and the audience tears the theater apart, that's fraud. If they don't want to listen, it's not worth spending even a dime. Anything you say after that is just fake. So we need to work hard. Yeah, other things are useless. They do crosstalk too, and we do crosstalk, but we can't compete with them. If we strangle teacher you and hang him up to extort him, they might pay us $500, but honestly, it's only worth 500. I feel like I've died too lightly, as light as a feather, but heavier than a cake slice. Why a cake slice? You can't. It's not that easy to fool people. When I teach the kids, I say, no matter what your purpose is for being here, our industry is a place of fame and fortune, full of gossip. You see, you punk stands on stage for 30 minutes, boasting about making so much money. That's just exploitation. So, the heavens are watching. They can't let everyone earn that much money. Yeah, if everyone makes so much money in just 30 minutes, there's no law left. That doesn't align with the way of the universe. So, a lot of people still need to work hard for 31 or 51 segments. With so little, you've got to put in the effort. We've been learning this since we were kids. He and I, we've all grown up together, including his wife and my wife. We've known each other since we were little. We grew up together, running around without clothes. Who else can say that? Back then, we were just kids, around 18. Is that still considered young? It's all about the process of growing up. We've slowly made it to where we are now together. All those things are buried in the past. How are we still here doing crosstalk? In our 4 main skills, speaking, learning, joking, and singing, your mouth has to be clean. That's the basics. In any corner of the theater, you need to be heard. Right, you can't just eat the words. Then you won't have any skills left. Exactly, you still have to make the audience happy. If 2 people stand there for 40 minutes and the audience isn't laughing, how can you shamelessly continue? Is that even crosstalk? How can you bear to take the $200 in consolation money from backstage? Hey, that's the point, isn't it? You need to have the basics down. Everything is something our teachers taught us. Speaking, learning, joking, and singing, like the lyrics of typing. Hey, that's our foundation, right? It seems everyone enjoys listening to typing lyrics. When it comes to crosstalk, besides that, whether it's singing opera, big drum songs, or any kind of singing, it all falls under the learning of speaking, joking, singing, and performing. It's about learning because those professional actors are singing, but only typing lyrics belong to our craft. Just now this audience friend wanted to share a bit more. Let's give him the chance, shall we? Who is it? Whoever called out. You can't underestimate the audience like that. You have to realize that it's not easy for thousands of people to bravely come up and share. We can't discourage their enthusiasm. Stand up, that chubby guy. Wow. They're calling for you to sing a bit. I need to take a break first, master. Sing a few lines, huh? I'll sing first, and after I'm done, if you hear anything wrong, you can just go out and correct it. Will I end up with no friends? Like this? I've never had friends, huh? Well, that's fine then. Are you talking about me within the industry? Did you get your hair permed again today? Why do you care about that? It's really simple. If you know a couple of lines of the song, you can sing 1,000. You sing a line, and look, all these enthusiastic audience members have their phones up, right? Great. Let's see how long you can hold those up. Are you going to sing or not?
庄公打马下山来，遇见了骷髅岛，我在尘埃。庄子修一剑发了恻隐身背后摘下了葫芦来，葫芦里倒出来金丹一粒儿，那半边儿红来半边儿白，红丸儿指的是男儿汉，不要粒儿指的是女裙钗，用金簪那敲牙关，关下了腰，骷髅骨得命站起了身来，伸手抓住了高头马口尊，先生你听个明白，怎不见金鞍玉衬我那逍遥马，怎不见琴剑书香我那小婴孩，这些个东西呢全然不要，快快快还我的银子来。庄子修闻听长叹气，那小人得命他又要私财。
Good. This is a typing lyric. This is called the skeleton sigh. All right, it's your turn now. Come on. Oh, folks, do you think they have shadows in their hearts? After not going home and sleeping for half a day, it's time for me to get up. This is really frustrating. This kind of singing is called our school style. In our craft, when it comes to crosstalk, this is called singing. If you sing something else, it's called learning, and there's a lot to learn, like the calls of street vendors or local operas. All those little tunes and melodies need to be learned. Including this street selling. We have to learn it too. When it comes to crosstalk, you have to know how to sell. Oh, there's a whole routine for that. Actually, now it's very far from everyone. It's gone. You can't hear the calls of vendors walking the streets anymore. Is that so? It seems like there's no street selling in foreign countries, right? I've never heard it either. I've been performing abroad for so many years. When did you connect with foreigners? At McDonald's? Hey, you just buy KFC, whether big or small KFC. All right. Is there even a big or small KFC? They've never even heard of our specialties. In the past, the city of Beijing valued this kind of street selling, that's for sure. 9 guns, 18 suspensions, and a well-balanced shoulder pole are very important. In the past, vegetable sellers would carry a shoulder pole with baskets in the front and back with over 10 kinds of vegetables. He would call out like he was singing.
香菜辣青椒哎，够葱炖芹菜来扁豆茄子黄瓜加黄瓜买大海茄，卖萝卜胡萝卜变萝卜那了芽儿的香椿的蒜儿的好韭菜。
What kind of flavor does that have? Cilantro, spicy green peppers, scallions, tender celery, flat beans, eggplant, cucumbers, and big C eggplants, selling radishes, carrots turning into radishes, tender sprouts are fragrant, and if you eat it, it counts as good chives. Hey. A whole set. Now there's no more vegetable selling and calling out on the streets. You can't hear it anymore. Oh my, the city management is here. Wow, what a guy. Before they even start calling out, they get shut down. You don't have it, do you? In the past, even the guy selling fried dough sticks would call out. How do you call out for fried dough sticks? Set up a pot for frying dough sticks here. Yeah, once they're fried, what do you call out?
哎呦呦青来面儿又白，扔到锅里边飘着起来，越炸越大，赛过烧鹅嘞，好大个的那是油炸鬼儿耶！嘿
Oh, the dough is white and floats in the pot, getting bigger and bigger. Better than a big brother when you're hungry? That's a fried ghost. Hey, when you call out for fried ghosts to fry dough sticks, back then the dough sticks had to be a foot long and a reddish-brown color. Now, the dough sticks are just a bit yellow and can't even stand up. Sometimes when I run into someone selling dough sticks, I ask, how much for the fried pencil? Fried pencil? He doesn't seem to want to talk to me. Of course, who sells fried pencils? Anyway, all of this is our homework. We have to learn, including opera and little tunes and songs. Oh, you hear Jean Millet singing Tanjui. That's a little tune. Who sings so well that they're famous everywhere, right? Everyone knows. How many older ladies love Jean Millet? Many little tunes from the past were for ceremonies, like using Shanhaiguan as a boundary. Outside Shanhaiguan, 3 provinces, and inside we have Beijing. In Erinjuan, people talk about Zheng Diyuai Hua and Fan Diyuai Hua, or Chia Wuking and Pan Wuking. These were ceremonial pieces, little tunes from Beijing and Tianjin. Later, they weren't sung here, but preserved in Erinjuan, but the roots are all here. The little tunes from Beijing, including the one Zhang Yilei sings, Tanjui. You hear the lyrics? It's a story from Haitian, isn't it? Haitian is exactly Tanjui, right? Flowing, that's what it is, right? You don't have to sing it, but go ahead and sing a few lines. I have one big characteristic. After I finish singing, as soon as the kids start singing, I stop. Just sing the lines. About the tips of the peach leaves, that's enough, right? What's enough? Of course, this past while, these little tunes have spread so widely that many places are singing them, places of entertainment. You understand that, right? What do I understand? Why do I have to know about the firework in the courtyard for so many years? Female workers also sing this. So later, after Jean Millet became popular, some experts criticized him for singing these lowbrow, vulgar tunes. But really, there's nothing you can do in those entertainment venues. They even sing Peking opera. You can't discredit these lyrics just because of the environment. That just shows a lack of culture. But when the kids finish singing, I don't like to sing. I sing all those old ones, like those from the royal palace. The emperor listened to these, and the empress too. Let me shuffle through them. So you just come up with a segment, huh? There's no empress here. So it's not lively, right? And they say you're like fish ladies. Fish ladies, huh? If the mouth isn't smooth, whose mouth isn't smooth? You can tell they're just fans of Crosstalk, right? Well then, I'll sing one of these. Let's sing a little tune that was specifically for the emperor in the palace. Okay. Please everyone, keep quiet. Let's listen to something from the palace. Sometimes the laws were strict. This was sung for the emperor. Back then, they collected a lot of songs, including a little tune I mentioned days ago. I heard the recording and didn't expect it to be from Ryukyu, Japan, Okinawa. There's a little tune. When I finished listening, I realized it was still sung in Chinese. It's called Long Live the Emperor, and it was sung to the emperor during the Ming Dynasty as a tribute. It's been passed down for hundreds of years, so it's quite moving. Many little tunes still hold their significance, all for the emperor to hear. Let's check this out. For the emperor to listen to. Little Widow. You wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Is this for the emperor to listen to? Oh no, this isn't for the emperor. This is for the empress, okay? This is lively. You listen to that tone, huh?
小寡妇三更半夜，雨泪纷纷，思想起多情有意的人，我为你望山跑死马，我为你沙里登黄金，望断天涯，中和而永，骂了生抽烟喝酒烫头的人呐、
Little Widow. It is 5:03, midnight, rain, and thunder at night. In a flurry thinking of you, you are so affectionate. A righteous person who always stands for justice and fairness is someone I deeply admire. I look to the mountains for you, seeking guidance and inspiration from their majestic heights. Running a horse to death, pushing it beyond its limits, is a testament to relentless pursuit. I would absolutely kill to reach the truly golden peak for you. Gazing endlessly at the horizon, balanced and eternal. Numbing, smoking, and drinking. People who have permed their hair say mine.